welcome to another episode of Dexter's Diary. What's up? Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys had a great week last week. Last week was really tough. Last week started and ended really tough for me. Just a lot of stuff going on with work and life and just getting things together. But all that is out the way. And, this week I'm feeling really optimistic this week. Not that I wasn't last week. It was just so much going on and just trying to wrap my head around things and put things into perspective. So I know I talk about a plethora of things all the time, but with the year ending, I really wanted to offer some words of encouragement. And I know like every year we do this thing, and I say we collectively, like we make New Year's resolutions. You guys know I don't do New Year's resolutions. You either do a life resolution or you just don't do it at all. Because New Year's resolutions are crap. I think it's just like one of those things people do to make themselves feel better. And you end up not completing it or doing it at all. And then you end up feeling worse because you kind of let yourself down. So if it's not a life resolution, I don't even bother with it. But with the year ending, there's so many things that I'm sure a few of us didn't get to do. A lot of us didn't get to do. There's quite some things on my list that I didn't get to. There's a lot of things that I actually was able to complete, and I'm really excited and happy about that. But there's always more work to do. And each year we get older, there's birthdays, there's celebrations, and there's goals that we are looking to reach. And why does that happen? Why every time? Anyway, there's goals that we're looking to reach. And there's this whole time factor that comes in. It's like, do I have enough time? I'm getting older. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, time is what you make it. Yes, we're getting older. Yes, we're growing. Yes, we're aging. But it's really about what you put into it. You're only as old as you feel. There's this guy in my old neighborhood, older black dude, and every day I see this man running. Every morning. Doesn't matter if it's snowing outside, if depending on how bad the snow is, he won't. If it's a storm, he won't be outside. But like, as long as the streets are clear, he's out here running, and he wears the same outfit every day. And his legs look amazing. His legs put a lot of people to shame. Like, I gotta step my game up. But you can tell he's an older man, a man of a certain age. Could I really pinpoint it? No, not really. But like, how many people are really out here doing this every day? We want to be fit. We want to stay in shape, but do we have the discipline to really do this consistently every day? And that follows through with so many things in our lives. Like, we start and then we don't finish. My follow through really is something that I'm working on, because it's something that it's something I need to work on. It's something that I really, really need to work on. But I'm getting better. And I think for me, it's just about selling. It's just about setting smaller goals, and then I can tackle those. And, baby steps. And we underestimate baby steps, but baby steps are still movement. It's still getting you closer to where you were, whether you stopped or not. So don't be concerned with time. Time is something that is really self-imposed. Outside of like deadlines and things like that, when it comes to your personal things, time is something that we self-impose on ourselves. Like, oh my God, I'm 25, I'm gonna be I'm 30 and I'm not married, I'm 50 and those things are outside situations. They really have nothing to do with you. Because you could have got married at 30 and been miserable. You can get married at 42 to the love of your life and just live in bliss. You know what I mean? Like, outside things should not concern you. Or don't let them affect your life to a point where you're in a frenzy. Your timetable is your own personal thing. It's something that you should be dictating, not other people. Your family will say things, and I remember growing up, my mom used to be like, don't bring no babies in this house. Don't bring no babies in this house. Now it's 3 of us, my siblings. None of us have kids. And she's like, where the babies at? You got baby money? Didn't you say don't bring no babies in this house? So now you want grandkids. Listen, you had your children, and we'll get to it when we get to it. Should we ever even cross that threshold? You know what I mean? Like, it's a personal choice whether we do these things or not. Like, don't let anyone dictate what's going on an internal level. And I know that's really it's really a hard thing to do, because we are at the core sociable people. Like, we socialize with our family and friends and so on and so forth. And when we see them doing great things or reaching pinnacles in their lives that we have yet to reach, we feel some type of way about that. And it's normal, but know that their timetable is not your timetable. You are allowed to get to wherever you're going to get in the time that you want to get there. And no sooner than that. And realistically, you will get there when you get there, if that's even part of your journey. You know, you want to do all these things and all these extravagant things. Work on what you want to do and stop focusing on what other people got going on, because the two are not mutually exclusive. Everybody's life is not a reflection of you or a lack of what you're doing. People work differently. People move differently. So do what you got to do for yourself. Be happy in the space that you're in. And even if you aren't doing the things that you want to do yet, know that there is still time. Know that you can do those things. You can reach those pinnacles. You can make these things happen in your life. You just have to want to make them happen. And you just got to get started. A lot of times, I think for me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I'm one of those people. I would like to have the whole thing before I get started. Like, if I'm making a recipe, if I'm cooking, like, I have to make sure I have everything before I get started, because I don't want to stop mid sauteing and I'm like, oh, I don't have this, right? And I know food is, you can kind of tweak things with food, but that transfers over into so many things in my life too. And there are so many things. I'm like, I have all these great ideas, and I'm like, but I need this and I need this. Da, 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 da. And if I had even started just a small amount till I got the rest of the things that I needed to complete the picture, I would still be further along than if I didn't do anything at all. And a lot of times I don't do anything at all, which is something that I'm really like grappling with. Just start. And it might be a personality flaw. You know, some people just like balls to the wall, and I'm more of a calculated risk taker. And I'm calculated also in so many different things that I do, like what's the A, what's the B, what's the C. I need to see all angles, and like, and it's just like something, it's just not that serious. Start with what you have, and once you get more, you can add to the pile. But if you're not starting at all, and you're looking at time and you're like, oh, I'm running out of time, but you haven't even started. Start with what you have. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're lacking, and don't stop playing these mind tricks. And we do this stuff too. Stop playing these mind tricks that you don't have certain things and so you can't do certain things. It's not true. It's really not true. People who don't have cars travel all the time. So are you waiting for a vehicle, or are you just gonna get on the bus or get on the train or take an Uber or whatever you need to get wherever you gotta go? People who don't have jobs tend to have money. Houseway. I'm not gonna delve into that, but I'm just saying there are ways to complete things and get to the things that you want to get, even though you're lacking certain materials. Because I'm sure it's not where you're completely barren and you don't have anything. A lot of times we have the minimum and we're just looking for the maximum to complete it. But if you tweak and play around with what you have, you can get started. So don't let time make you feel like a fool. That's not the word I'm looking for, but don't let time be a factor in the things that you do. Do what you have to do, regardless of what's going on. If it's midnight, if it's 2 years from now, if it's not, at least you did it. We have people who are like in their 60s going back to school, people in their 70s going back to school, getting their degrees and just completing things that due to the way life happened, they weren't able to do it before. Maybe they got married and had kids and they focused on their kids, and they, certain things get in the way of that, but that does not mean that you just stop. You know what I mean? Like, don't let time be a factor in the things that you do. Do what you have to do. Whether you're 80 or whether you're 8, whether you're 18, whether you're 28, whether you're 38, whether you're 48, you get the point. You get where I'm going with this. Do what you have to do for you in your own timetable. Don't feel rushed. Don't feel, if you want to lose weight, when you get to the point that you want to lose weight and you're ready and you're committed to it, when you're tired of looking the way that you look or feeling the way that you feel, or you will do it. When you are ready to leave whatever situation that you want to leave, you will do it. Not before anyone. People are like, oh, if you hate your job, quit your job, blah, 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 or don't leave, and just shut the door on those outside forces. What you do with your time and how you designate your time within your life is your choice. And it's okay to live a life that people don't understand, to do things in a timetable that people really don't get. It's completely okay, because what you do, this is my saying, what you eat don't make me shit. And I feel that translates across so many things. What you eat don't make me shit. So why are you worried about what I'm eating? And why should I be worried about what you're eating? Vice versa. It doesn't affect me. So if that's the way you want to live your life, live your life. Of course, we want the best for the people in our lives. Of course, we want the best for our loved ones and our friends and so on and so forth. At least you should. But they're allowed to live their lives in ways that we don't understand. The biggest thing that I've learned last week is that everyone's definition of something is not the same. And a lot of times we get caught up in our definition of the things that we view. And we don't ask the other person, what's your definition of this? So at least I have an idea of why you're doing the things why you're doing the things that you do in the way that you do them. We don't do that. It's just like, well, this is my definition, so it should be a universal definition. Things don't translate like that, because I can say this is red and you'd be like, yeah, that's red, but it's like a brick red or an orangey red or a bluish red. There's undertones and so, there's always like a subcategory. So think about that when you're looking at the way that your friends or your families are doing things, and you may not agree with them, but what is their definition of what they're doing? Are you even trying to relate, or are you just passing judgment, and then because it's not the way that you do things, then it's not valid? And for a lot of people, and I'm guilty of that. I don't think anyone isn't, but for me, I'm really guilty of that. I think for me, a lot of things are very linear, and other people may have looser definitions for certain things. So, but I know that I'm an extremist. I know that for me, middle ground is not an easy place for me to be. It's either going to be point A or it's point B. There's no A and a half. There's no B and a half. Like, we're not, this limbo is not a good place for me. I'm very definitive. I like clarity. I like crystal clear. But I know that for other people, it's not the same, and it causes, at times it can cause miscommunication, because when I say A, people are like, A-ish, and I'm like, nah, A. A-ish? Nah, A. Like, no. But for them, A-ish is A. It's just A with an ish. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining this properly, but I think you guys get my drift. You know, don't let what other people do affect your timetable, or what other people aren't doing affect your timetable. You work at your own pace, you move at your own pace, you excel at your own pace, and be comfortable with knowing and be proud that you are at least doing something for yourself in the way that you're doing it. And no one has to understand it, and it's fine. It's completely okay. But do it how you do it. You know, handle how you handle. When we are painting a masterpiece, if you've ever watched an artist and they're painting, a lot of times when the picture starts, you have no idea what the hell is, like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And once it's done, it starts to come together, and you're like, oh, dope. And it's the same thing with how we move about in life. We're creating our own masterpieces, and the picture's not going to be clear to so many people. And a lot of times it may not even be clear to us, because we may start off with one vision in mind, but by the time the picture is done, you're like, well, this is better than what I expected, you know? And it's great. It's amazing. Live with your... Do what you do. I am so flustered today. I don't even know why. Like, my words are like, so excuse me. But to tie it all together, you're doing fine. You're doing great. And I'm proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself too. That's the gist of all this. You should be proud of yourself. Move at your own pace. Do what you do. Handle your handle. And be great at it. And whatever your definition of great is, and whatever my definition of great is just as amazing. And you're going to get there. So no more New Year's resolutions. Do your life resolutions. Write them down. I got a bunch of Post-its all over my room. Like, and these are things that I go to, and I'm like, all right, this is I got it. You know, like, keep it in the mental Rolodex. Do what you do, okay? And be proud of what you do in the way that you do it, in the time span that you do it. And it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because nobody gets to define your life but you. And that's the wonderful thing about this whole thing. Like, you get to live this life the way you want to. It's yours. And none of us are getting out of here alive anyway, so... what's what we're talking about, right? So anyway, guys, I gotta go. I love you. I will see you next time. Man, the year's almost up, for real, right? Let's see what it holds. I'm excited. Bye, guys.